A couple of things in terms of how we've approached the review. What we set out not to reinvent a wheel. So I was fortunate to be able to commission a number of research teams to sort of work in parallel to paint a picture for me. And one of the things we did was to look back. And one of the things that's painfully obvious in the NHS is actually there's a wealth of information. There have been reviews, there have been reports, there have been audits that actually tell this story. And part of what we've done within the review is to bring all of that information together in one place. I guess effectively to try and make the business case. And the business case is vital in an organisation that's facing the challenges that it faces going forward. We've delivered the review to very demanding milestones, and the reason we've done that is that I believe it is absolutely crucial for the NHS in terms of going forward to actually have the opportunity to consider whether health and well-being of the staff is a top priority in terms of the strategic plan. And if I go back, the operating framework for those who don't work in the NHS and are not familiar with the NHS is the equivalent of the group strategic business plan, if you like. And it's set around, it will be set into tablets of stone sometime in December. And I believe that the NHS is really at a crucial crossroads. You'll have seen the stuff in the media in terms of the future challenges, the future economic challenges that the organisation faces. And one of the things that we've tried to do is to make the case for why health and well-being is crucial to those strategic plans. Because I believe if you don't integrate health and well-being into the core way in which the organisation does business, if it doesn't become part of its strategic aims, then it doesn't happen. In the course of the review, we've collected nearly 4.5 feet worth of evidence from various organisations. There's a pile of paper in the corner of my office, those 200 electronic contributions. We've set out to do our own staff perception research in addition to the existing employee survey data that exists in the NHS. The NHS has a fantastically rich source of data in terms of its employee feedback, and one of the things that we did in the course of the review was to use that data, to mine that data, and to actually seek to cross-tabulate and cross-correlate that information with performance information from NHS organisations. Again, to show the clear link that there was a business reason for why health and well-being was actually important to the NHS going forward. And again, the keynote this afternoon from Professor McLeod is about engagement, and one of the things that we've sought to do in the course of this review, because again these things don't happen unless you engage people, is to engage as widely as possible. And the reason for those 7,000 miles was to actually try and get out and about across the organisation as much as possible, so that people were touched by the review and actually got an opportunity to contribute very actively to it. The interim report that was published in August sought to paint a picture, to show the parts of a jigsaw. And I guess what it sought to do was actually show the context for the review and why actually it was important to take action now. It was to lay out what some of the key health priorities and challenges may be for an organisation like the NHS. It was to say what is currently going on, and it was to say what are the opportunities to change going forward. And I guess we sought to make the business case on a number of different levels. What we sought to show was that actually, in terms of the challenges that an organisation like the NHS going forward faced, actually in terms of getting the NHS since the seminal work done by Lord Darzi has been focusing on delivering better quality of care going forward, and that is a relentless and sole aim in the organisation, to improve the quality of service that the organisation actually delivers in the future. And the organisation has been fortunate. It's been through a period of investment where there's been significant investment in terms of helping to drive some of the quality improvements that we've seen in recent years, but that investment can't continue for the future, and you will have seen in the press, and whether it's a £20 billion challenge or a 15 billion or a 5 billion or a 50 billion pound challenge, whatever the number is, the financial challenge that the NHS faces in 12 to 18 months' time is actually a very considerable one. It's a big number. So in order to continue to improve quality of care, it's got to do that against the background of getting better productivity from its staff. Again, we've sought to actually show that wellbeing actually is part of the way of actually delivering that.